How are you doing today? I hope you're doing just fine and you're having a great week so far. I wanted to talk to you a little bit today about unpacking your baggage. You know, it's so funny. Y'all know I had a two-part vacation last week, which first part was in Vegas, which I took a larger set of luggage. And the second part was in Atlanta, where I took a smaller bag. When I got back from Las Vegas, I went ahead and emptied my luggage, but I left something a little bit behind in that bag that I always keep in my suitcase. And when I went to Atlanta, I got back from Atlanta Monday. How about that bag is still full, and I'm slowly getting one or two things out since I've been back. It's funny how we hold on sometimes to baggage and either leave a little bit in or take a little bit out of a time, and sometimes we just leave the whole bag full because we just don't want to unpack. And y'all, I remember when, I dealt and held some stuff in about my son's passing for a long time, and when I admitted something about it, my brother, whom I love to death, told me I should have kept that to myself. But that was my baggage that I needed to release and needed to let go and stop living for others, to be okay. I needed to deal with that. And that's so true. I don't know if many of you know this, but I've been going to counseling since I've been dealing with this stuff just got out of hand on my job, dealing with the stress and the issues that I've been going with. And the funny thing about it is, the first few sessions were, she concentrated a lot on that and how I should deal with the stress and blase. But then, here lately, she talks about things in my personal life, how I let this stuff bleed over to my personal life. And me wanting to be a control freak, I always try to steer her back to other things. I don't want to deal with a lot of the personal stuff, because I'm like, I didn't come here for this. I don't want to discuss this, and I know that eventually I'm going to have to let some other things out and unpack that baggage. It's funny about how we will have issues with somebody and we will say we're going to discuss this with this person or that person, instead of walking around being upset and holding a grudge or being, irritated with them. We're going to let it go. And I'm guilty of this. Instead of letting the full bag loose and unpacking the baggage and telling the person our full issue with them, if I start telling them and I see it's offending them or hurting their feelings, sometimes I'll just pull back and still hold on to the baggage. And it never really solves the problem. We do that in life too. Even with my mother, my biological mother, I have questions I still need answered, but I won't broach the subject with her. And I'm 49 years old because I see she gets offended when I go down a certain path. I'm still holding on and not unpacking that baggage. And it's just funny how I was talking to my siblings, two of my siblings, when we were in Atlanta. And I said, it's so funny how we have similarities, as far as values and how we were raised, but we are so different. It was things they were expressing that I was like, what? It even threw me for a loop. So it's just funny how, and I wouldn't say certain things to them, even though I felt a certain way, just because they were just so adamant about it. And we hold ourselves, we do that sometimes, we hold on to things we probably should not hold on to protect other people's feelings, and we don't allow ourselves a chance to fully heal. And I'm not saying you should go around being cruel to somebody, just ready to cut their throat with your tongue because you want to unpack your baggage. It's a way to let things go and be okay and take care of you and still be respectful and honor other people. And that's what I needed to kind of take in and step back and realize. It was something that I was watching a portion of the Red Table on Will Smith's channel. And he was saying that, you know, early on in the relationship, he and Jada had run into some problems. And it's just funny how, because I've had another incident with another YouTuber that I watched as well, how what happens in our childhood sometimes shape us as adults. And we hold on to baggage and hurt and pain and things that we did or was done to us from childhood, or that we witnessed from childhood. You know, it becomes either some positive baggage or some negative baggage, and we hold on to it. And Will Smith was saying that he told Jada he was not going to curse or yell in his household because that was something that bothered him. And you could tell when he was expressing it about it that it bothered him from childhood, and that it just was not a way that he wanted to live his adult life. So, you know, you recognize that. I know that we all held on to some baggage from childhood. And this gentleman that I was watching on, I think it's The Life of the Cassells, or something like that, he was expressing concern for his young son. That, you know, and he broke down and cried because he said he didn't want his son to have to go through some of the things that he went through in his life, you know, wondering why his mother didn't talk to him. And he wanted something better for his son, you know, because he apparently was still holding on to some of the things that had happened in his childhood, you know, holding on to baggage. And we hold on to so much baggage in our lives, you know, and we only let so much out. And even in a place where I feel safe to discuss some things, you know, with someone, or someone is my best friend, or whatever, you know, your spouse may be your best friend, you still only, you know, because I was telling my brother if he was going to get married, you know, and I even talked to my sister about this. Sometimes you have to hold stuff in. Sometimes you have to bridle your tongue. But are you holding baggage and not unpacking the bags that are being detrimental to you? Are they really having an effect on your life where you cannot move forward from some things, or be one way in a relationship, or be one way in your own life because you still got this baggage that you're holding on to? I want to encourage you today to unpack your bags. This wasn't a conversation to say that I had some type of answers, because Lord knows I don't. Because like I said, I have my own situation. But it made me see the importance just looking at these two different scenarios with Will Smith and the other gentleman, and thinking about my own self in counseling. How much of my own baggage am I not unpacking? What am I retaining back there? What am I holding on to in the baggage? What am I not unpacking? Today, ask yourself, what are you not unpacking in your baggage? Is it circumventing you from moving forward? Is it circumventing you from moving on? Letting go, allowing things, allowing happiness, allowing full joy in your life, because you're holding on to some baggage. It's something to think about. How do you want to live the rest of your life? Do you want whatever in your baggage to bog you down forever, or do you truly want to let it go? And if it means having a loving conversation with someone and tell them that you're not attacking them, you know, you just need to release some things to let it go. If it means sit down, and sometimes the baggage don't ever necessarily, unpacking your bags don't necessarily mean you will have to verbalize everything. Sometimes it's just as simple as writing it down, and you never even have to mail that letter to anybody. You can, but sometimes it means just writing down and releasing it and letting it go, so you can get that weight. Because how many, I don't care what you say about a suitcase, your baggage. When it's empty, it's a whole lot lighter. And if you leave something in it, it's going to have some extra weight to it. Take your time and unpack your bags today. Unpack your baggage. Whether it has to be a slow process or a long process. There's some baggage I know it's going to be a slow release for me. And there's some baggage I'm going to get rid of right away. I'm going to unpack that bag right away because I'm not going to put up with no foolishness. Don't let nothing stop you. Don't let a full bag stop you from living a life of joy, of peace, with love. And don't try to be messy with unpacking your baggage. Try to do everything in order, with respect and with love, for yourself and for others. Yo, if you're holding on to some baggage today, you can release it here if you want to. We all a family full of love, and said, I just release the baggage. You don't have to say specifically what it is. Just say in the comments below, I'm ready to unpack my bags. It's too heavy for me. And give it to God, y'all. Really turn over, release it, and let it go. So you can live a full life of happiness and joy. Anyway, that's enough of my jibber jabber about unpacking baggage today, and just sharing some things with you that out of my own life and what I've recently heard. But I hope you all have a prosperous and blessed week. Know that you're loved. I love you, but God loves you the most. Remember to always be kind to yourself and others. Be joyful and be blessed. Love you much. Bye.